again.
To the toilet bowl.
And this is life experiences.
We're talking about cartwheels. We'd been seeing Nightwish, which were
It wasn't Nightwish, it was Black Veil Brides.
Black Veil Brides, sorry. Nightwish, she passed
It's
out.
K-Tour?
Was it K-Tour?
Yeah, it
Because
was
we
K-Tour.
met Rob Damiani.
Yes. Who is from Don Brocco, and he's a lovely guy. And he smells. He's not very attractive, but he smells attractive.
And we went to the all-night McDonald's in Brixton because we couldn't get a train. We lived in Southend at the time.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get a train home, so we went to the all-night McDonald's.
Michelle
came with us. We started off trying to go to a place called the Brixton Grill. The Brixton Grill didn't even have a kitchen.
No.
So that was a bit of a waste of time and effort. So
Yeah.
we ended up going to the all-night McDonald's in Brixton. And 3 guys came up and started chatting up Michelle and Kaylee because I was over.
No, not me, just Michelle.
Well, you were there.
Yeah, but they didn't like me.
But they were chatting them up. And I came back and they'd stolen my seat. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And they were saying that, they go, what do you work as? I went, I'm a nurse. I went, oh. We're doing your pension. I went, are you? That's nice. And there were 3 of these guys, and one of them was the designated driver, and he was sober, but the other 2 were completely out of it. And they were saying that they were going on to a pub and didn't want to go with them, and we really didn't want to go anywhere else.
Not with them, especially.
So we were sitting in McDonald's, and he said, I just want to talk to the happy one with the pointy head. And he was actually talking about his friend. There's a happy little fellow with a pointy head. And I was like, is there? He said, yeah. And I can't remember whether it was you or Michelle, but one of you said, he doesn't look very happy at the moment.
That was Michelle.
Michelle said, he doesn't look very happy. And I went, how do you know? He could be doing emotional cartwheels of joy. And that started off the other one, and he's going, you'll be sitting there, let's be seeing the cartwheels. And he was doing this. And I was like, weird. And they were just carrying on their own conversation. We was just sort of like accessories. We were just sitting there. And then about 10 minutes later, he goes, hey, let's be seeing the cartwheels. And it was like, what have I started? And then
people in London.
when I went to the ordering area, some guy went, I don't like your tattoos. I went, thank you. And I can't even see what that one on the back of your neck says. I said, don't worry about it. And he said, they're tattoos. And he pointed to the guy who was standing next to me who had Monster tattooed on his neck. Why he wanted a soft drink brand tattooed on his neck is beyond me.
Energy drink.
He went, they're tattoos. I went, well, so's that, but you obviously don't like that one. And I came back to the table. The Irish guys were still there, and they go, the 2 of them were complaining that they wanted to go to a pub called the Swan, and the designated driver was going, we'll be going in a minute. And I'm like, just go, please go and take them with you. And they did eventually leave, but they wanted Michelle's phone number first. And Michelle was going into Kaylee, I'm going to give them the phone number.
So give them a fake number then.
And she said, Michelle, give them a fake number. Just to
Get rid of them.
Make them go. So I think she did give them a fake number because they eventually left. And they were still going on about cartwheels when they left, so I really started something there. Emotional cartwheels of joy.
Yeah.
What about your life experience? Because we've had some.
Too many to mention.
A
Really.
nutty one. We're not going into the heavy, deep ones.
I don't know.
The guy after karaoke with a car.
Oh, yeah. So, we went to karaoke,
We like karaoke. Do you go to karaoke?
and at the time, I was in a relationship. No, but I was. And a long-term relationship, because that's what I do. And he unfortunately wasn't here. And this guy pulled up in his car, like, out of nowhere. We thought he was just going to drive past, and we were just like, okay. So he was walking and talking and waiting for our cab. So he's like walking around the pub where it was. And we was on a high because we'd just finished singing, and, you know, I've been drinking and talking to our friend who was the karaoke master. And we'd had a really good night. And he stopped his car, got out of his car and said, "Excuse me." And I said, "What?" So I wasn't very, I didn't know him. And he went, "Can I have your phone number?" And I went, "No." He went, "What's your number?" And I went, "No." And then it came to me afterwards, I should have said 7. Just a number, because he wanted my number.
We don't want your name, just your number.
I don't give my number out. A lot of my friends don't have my phone number. I don't give my phone number out because generally when people call me, I don't answer my phone anyway. Yeah.
Because she gets idiots like me.
Yeah.
We were going to Lanzarote and I was excited because I'd never flown before. And all the time, every time we saw a plane, I was going, "The plane! The plane!"
I was on my way home from work. They'd had a hectic day at work. It was horrible. And I was not in the best of moods. And some weird woman phoned me up on my phone, went, "The plane!" and then put the phone down. I was like...
It made her laugh.
It came up
smiling when she came in.
Saying home. So I knew it was my mother. But to say the plane and then put the phone down, I was like, okay. So I rang her back and I went, "What the hell?" And she's like, "The plane." And I was like, "I don't care. The plane, you're going on the plane next week. Stop it." And she's like, "But the plane." And I was like, "No, just no." And then I came back home. She answered the door to me again and said, "The plane." We had this for about 2 weeks until we left.
And the song.
What song?
We're going on a autumn holiday. No more working for a week or 2.
She sung that at karaoke. She changed the words.
We're going where the sun shines bright blue. We're going where the sea is blue. I've seen it on the YouTube. Now let's see if it's true.
To put up with that for 2 weeks. And then she sang it at karaoke as well.
And people clapped.
She sang Under the Sea for me, which is nice.
I also sang that in Lanzarote.
That's what I was talking about. And people were dancing to it. But mainly we had the karaoke bar to ourselves. There was 3 of us. That's a lot of songs. It was good.
And I don't usually sing that much because I've got a really terrible voice and I usually do comedy songs. I sung Let It Be.
You said that yesterday.
Yeah. Didn't mangle it too badly, but the person we were with got incredibly drunk and kept stealing the mic and didn't know the words. And I like to sing songs from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that was funny.
And I started singing "I'm a Sweet Transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania."
Haha.
Ha. And I said to him, I went, "You don't want any part of this. You're a guy. You don't want to join in." And I turned around and he's standing there going, and I went, "Oh, for crying out loud, come on then." And he didn't know the words. So he was just sort of la-la-ing along. I must point out he was incredibly drunk at this point. But that was...
And I decided I was on the Malibu that night, and I just didn't think, and I had a glass of milk before I went out. And this is the issue that I was saying about. When you drink milk to line your throat, you need to drink more. I didn't get drunk.
Nor did I, because I wasn't drinking.
You did. You had like 2 Malibus, but you didn't.
I was sober.
You did, yeah, you didn't get drunk, but you did have.
I
You
was
did
as
drink.
sober as a judge.
She did drink, but she didn't get drunk. Wasn't that the night that you had that Bailey's cocktail?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, Bailey's cocktail, the answer's wrong.
The Dire Straits.
I don't know why. I really, really, really hate Dire Straits.
You said that yesterday.
And if anybody hates Dire Straits or loves Dire Straits,
Let us know.
let us know. We want to know about it. Why do you like them? Why do you hate them?
Did you just make a funny noise?
Yeah.
She hates them that bad she can't breathe.
No, they are a real peeve. And if you like them, comment and let us know why you like them.
Do you know what? It's actually quite funny because like when we was in the living room once and she was really tired and she fell asleep and I thought she was dead because she snores like really loud.
Lumberjack.
And the house shakes. That's how much she snores. And she was asleep on the sofa and I thought she'd died because she wasn't moving or making a noise or anything. And then she started, I said something to her and she started laughing. And I didn't know what was going on. And I was really, 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 really worried. And because she was like, and she's dying. And I was like, Mum. And I was like, oh my God. And I was freaking out because she was doing this weird laughing, dying thing. And I was like, oh my God, she's dying.
I was so exhausted, I was just going. She'd said something, it was so funny seeing her really panicking, going, Mum. And I was like,
It's nice, isn't it?
I was like,
But she did eventually wake up. And I
eventually.
went, oh, you're not dead. It scared me. And I actually thought she was dying, but she's clearly not because she's here with me.
And wheelie bins. One night, someone had left, well, it was obviously the bin man, had left our wheelie bin outside the garden. And it had blown into the road. And I thought, well, I can't leave it there. That's really, really dangerous. She was Skyping. And I said to her, I'm just going to go and get the bin in. And I was like, oh, okay. I went to get the bin. But the bin got full of wind. And it was dragging me along the road. I'm trying to shut the lid to stop the wind from going into the bin. And it's dragging me along because I couldn't get the lid to shut because it was facing the other way. So I'm being dragged along by this bin. I got to the end of the road and I live at number 66. So, it was quite a long distance I got dragged.
She was pooping her pants.
I was fighting with that bin all the way back. I eventually, when I got halfway back down the road, I managed to turn it and get the lid on it. And then I just dragged it the rest of the way. I brought it in, put it in the garden, came in. She's still sitting on Skype. I went, weren't you worried? Because I was gone a good 15, 20 minutes. And she went, no. And I went, I've just been dragged down the road by a bin. She went, have you? I'm look like a wild girl from Borneo. My bum had come out, my hair sticking out in all directions. I was sweating where I'd been running along this blooming bin. And she goes, I just thought you were going to get the bin. And I was gone 20 minutes. I didn't notice.
I was having an intense conversation.
I went, thanks. The next day I put on YouTube.
No, it wasn't YouTube, it was Facebook.
I put a post and I said, I explained what had happened with the bin. And I said, so if anyone sees a loaf-laying lady going along, can they at least contact my daughter so that I know where I am? Because I honestly thought that I was going to end up somewhere with this bin. It dragged me all the way to the end of the road. And that's like 66 houses down. So it's about a quarter of a mile.
Look what I got.
Yeah. It's about a quarter. I got dragged about a quarter of a mile with this bin. And she didn't even notice I was gone.
This is my baby boy, Andy boy. Really do sugar cane.
Another one of our rescues.
Ooh. He's purring. He loves me. What do you want? Oh, what do you want?
He's got a habit of putting his paw on her mouth because he wants to be quiet.
Yeah. He's lovely.
So what other life experiences have we got other than bins and weird.
No,
Then-
no, Squidgy. Squidgy, no.
Squidgy's only got 3 legs,
No. Stupid cat.
so he's a bit.
Scatterbrainy.
No, he's not the most graceful of beasts, is he?
See, he's on my lap, so he's not causing a problem, but he was on the table. Causing a problem.
So, other life experience.
I've got many.
Well, one of them, one
I'm
of the
trying to
more
think.
mental ones.
Oh, we went to see Nightwish and I passed out. That was fun.
Yeah, we went to see Nightwish, which were
It was fun.
really worth seeing. Now,
Oh, no, Squidgy, come on now.
being
No.
being
can't grab him.
disabled,
Oh.
I was up on the balcony because they have seating up there. This is at the Brixton Academy. And my daughter was down on the main floor, right at the front, with her best friend.
Michelle.
And we were only enjoying Nightwish, and it was actually one of the first concerts that
Oh,
Flo-
for crying out loud. Get down.
one of the first concerts with Floyd Jansen as the lead singer. And it was really good. We were really enjoying it. But something was happening to you that I didn't know about.
Yeah, since the first band, Pain, they're amazing, by the way. Pain are really, really good. They're a Finnish band. Are they Finnish or Swedish? Finnish or Swedish?
Never even finished.
I think they're Swedish, but they're a really good band anyway.
Nordic.
They're called Pain. They're amazing. Well, they were supporting Nightwish, and this woman, don't know who she was, don't want to know who she was horrible, decided to lean on my jugular vein the whole way through the show. They got to Over the Hills and Far Away, and these guys in front, bless them, they were so sweet. One of them was a nurse, a male nurse. He was lovely. And I sort of like leant on them, and I said, do you mind me just like leaning on you? Because like I'm blacking out for some reason, because I couldn't work out why. Get down. And he went, no. He went, do what you want. I went, all right then, because him and his friend were in front of us. And I was seriously like blacking out. I couldn't focus or anything, just seeing black. And I sort of leant on them and passed out. And the guy, the nurse, grabbed me and got me in a bridal carry. I don't know how, because it's so packed in there. But he got me in a bridal carry, all right, Andy. And he lifted me up and gave me to the security guard and made sure that my skirt was down, which I thought was really sweet of
And
him.
the scariest experience of my life was being on the balcony, not being able to get to her, and seeing her being lifted out the crowd. I, at that point, started to get really, really concerned. And I couldn't get down there. There was no way to
I had
get
a
to you.
brilliant view though. They let me sit down the front where the camera people are, and I decided in my state of that I was going to sit in front of Thomas.
So she was staring at him. I didn't know this. I didn't even know where she'd gone.
Oh, my consciousness back, I tell you. I was like, whew.
And then I saw her about 15 minutes later, going back into the crowd. And I'm going,
It wasn't 15 minutes, it was more like half an hour.
well, I'm going. And she's like, I'm like, Christ,
I was
I
bad.
can't get down there.
And like when the gig finished, my nursey friend and his friend came with us, me and Michelle, to the door
Because I have to wait until it's thinned out because...
and met my mother. And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, not really. And I was in a bad way. And that night, we missed our last train. So not only had I passed out, and it was a great gig, brilliant gig from what I can remember of it, which wasn't a lot, but my friend Michelle bought me a
She has since seen it on YouTube.
signed picture of Floor and a program which I lost in the move, unfortunately, so I don't have that anymore. But I did. She bought me that, so I didn't actually miss the whole gig that I would have done. But we missed our last train, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we had to get a cab from.
The thing was, I didn't really want to be in the middle of the East End in the middle of the night.
At Brixton. It was in Brixton.
Yeah, but when we got the tube,
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
said,
it was at Upminster.
I said, we'll get off the tube at Upminster because it's a darn sight quieter than Barking. So we got off the tube at Upminster, and it was as silent as the grave. It was the coldest day of the year that far.
Yeah, it was 5th of November.
Yeah, and it was freezing.
So it was firework night as well.
And there wasn't a soul in Upminster. And she was still woozy. And I said, look, we've got...
Yeah, the best part was they said give her fluids, keep her hydrated.
They took my bottle of Dr. Pepper off of me, so I couldn't keep her hydrated. So I said, look, the only thing I can think of doing is dialing 101, getting you to the police station. So I rang 101, and I said, would it be okay to be there as a place of safety overnight? Yes, you can do that, you can do that. So I'm like, okay.
Is that nice?
So the only thing we could do was get a black cab. Now,
Guys, no.
black cabs are a ridiculous price. They always have been. And I was talking to the cab driver and he goes, look, I can get you to Romford police station for £20. I was like, I've got to do it. I've got no choice.
Did actually give you a discount.
Yeah, well, he gave me a discount because I was talking to him.
Get Gremlin. She's
So
not understanding English.
he took us to Romford police station and he charged me £18 instead of 20. And I got her in there and I said, I explained what happened and that I rung 101 and went, okay, would you like a cup of tea? I thought, oh yeah, fluids, great, need those. Yes, please. Came out with a little cardboard cup of tea that was about that big.
That was half full.
And it was only half full. So,
We had a mouthful of tea.
well, mouthful's better than nothing. So we were there, and we were there until about 5:30.
Something like that, yeah.
And we decided to go out and try and get the morning train.
But the best part of this whole story was I needed the toilet. Like, badly needed the toilet. And I said to the policeman, can I use the toilet? And he said no. And I was like, oh, okay. Wasn't very nice about it either, was he? He's like, no, you can't. And I was like, okay, fine, I can't use the toilet. So we went walking down Romford town centre. At this point, I was literally dying for a wee. It was about 6 o'clock and people started to come out. My mum said to me, there's a phone box, go in the phone box.
Clark Kent does it.
That's what she said. She went, go and be Superman, go to the toilet in the phone box. I didn't want to do that, but I had no choice. I was dying for the toilet. So she stood in front of me. There's people coming out at this point. I'm not really happy, and it was at that stage when you know when you need the toilet so badly it doesn't stop coming out. It was like that. It was a river. So I was like, ah. Anyway, I finally stopped peeing, and we was on our way to the train station. What happened then? Hang on, I know this one. Oh yeah, we walked down the town centre, and then we saw one. You know them toilets that you pay for. We saw one of those about 20 feet from where I went to the toilet. I was not happy. I was very unhappy. And then we got to the train station, and it was quiet, so quiet, and we didn't actually need to buy a ticket or anything. It was lovely. So we just got on the train and went home.
And when we saw the train, I went, is that the most beautiful sight you've ever seen?
And I in the train.
And she slept all the way home. I had trouble waking her up when we got to the other end.
I think I passed out again.
Yeah. I managed to get her a Coke from the vending machine to try and hydrate her.
Pepsi.
Well, it was something. What was that?
Pepsi.
Carbonated. So I was trying to hydrate my daughter. So, have you had an experience like that?
And then there was the other time I went to Ink and I needed the toilet. It was painful.
I'll let you tell.
So we went to see this band called Ink in Camden. And we made friends. Taylor. I love Taylor. Taylor, not Tyler.
I don't even know her name.
No, she's American. She's lovely. She's a sweetheart. She's a darling. And we met her at this Ink. Well, my mum actually started talking to her at first. So I don't know her name.
I talk to everybody.
Taylor. And she's a lovely, 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 lovely person. And we started talking to her and she bought us a drink. And that was nice. And my mum said, I'm just going to go to the toilet. I was like, okay, fine. Didn't need the toilet. Brilliant. We got to Camden train station. Fine. Brilliant. Didn't need the toilet. I was peachy. Then we had to change trains. Then I needed the toilet. Oh boy, did I need the toilet. All the way home in a train. I was dying for the toilet. Like, this is like painful. And then we had to change trains again. So I was in the cold, which makes you want the toilet more. Dying for the toilet. Like, agonising pain. And this is not a very nice conversation, I know, but...
And these were tubes as well.
uncomfortable conversations.
There's no toilets on tube trains.
No.
And it was late at night, so most of them were closed.
So,
Stations.
This is the last train. So we got to East Ham Station and I couldn't hold it anymore. I literally couldn't. So I just went, Mum, there's a little bit there. I need the toilet, like, now. So she's done the Batman thing, holding her coat open, standing in front of me. People were still getting off the train. I didn't care. I needed the toilet. And it wasn't until I'd finished the river of pee that I noticed there was workmen. And I was like, oh God, they've just seen what I've done. And
I said, I was standing with my coat up and they probably think it was me.
And it was quite embarrassing. But, you know, we said we talk about uncomfortable things on this channel. I just made a complete idiot of myself twice. Because I obviously have problems with my bladder.
Well, no, you just don't think.
I have no brain.
She doesn't plan ahead.
No.
I mean, I'm like, if there's a loo, I'm going. Even if I've just been, I'm going. Just to make sure.
But, yeah, so they were my embarrassing toilet incidents. I didn't pee myself, though.
No, you didn't.
I nearly did. Oh, boy, did I. Oh.
Mind you, my embarrassing moment. I went to a fetish night with my daughter.
Yeah.
And I was having quite a nice time at this fetish night. I was just walking around being a kinky nurse. And it was alright.
I like a transvestite.
And then this guy was talking to me. And he was saying, you smell nice. I went, thank you. And I thought he was being pleasant. My daughter came behind me and she went, will you stop chatting up my mother? I went, he wasn't. She went, he was. I went, it wasn't, was you? And I went, yeah. I went, oh, sorry, I didn't notice. I must be really thick.
The thing is, I knew who he was, so I could talk to him like that. I'm not a nice, nasty person to everybody.
You stop chatting up my mother. And I went, but he wasn't.
He was.
And he went, actually, I was. I went, oh, okay, I didn't notice.
No, but we've had some...
He was about 20 years younger than me as well, didn't he?
I've had some times. Like me and Michelle getting locked in the toilet at Antichrist.
I wasn't there.
No, you wasn't there. Basically, what happened was me and Michelle went to the toilet. We was at Antichrist in...
We really love a tutorial, this
Yeah, I know. It's great. Hey, toilets. But we went to... It wasn't to go to the toilet. It was to sort out our faces. Because, you know, when you've been waiting outside, your face... Yeah. So we went in the toilet to sort out our faces. And they didn't even check to see if anyone was in there. Because we was in front of the mirrors doing our faces. And they just locked the door. And it was like, oh, no. And Michelle was like, we're not going to get out. And I was like, we are. And the thing is, we went specifically to see one of the acts that were there that night. And she was like, I'm going to miss it. I went, you're not going to miss it. I went, well, I'll get us out of here. She went, how? And she's banging on the door. There's not much of Michelle. She's small and skinny. But she was with me. And I'm not small and skinny and I've got a big mouth. I mean, a really big mouth. She was banging on the door and I went, get out of the way. And I decided to go into full get me out of here mode. I'm banging on the door, I'm screaming, I'm kicking the door. And the guy came up and went, what are you doing in there? It's like, well, you should have checked before you locked the door, and you didn't. I said, so you were in the wrong. And he's like, you're not supposed to use that toilet. I'm like, well, we didn't know. There's no sign. It wasn't out of order or anything, so we just thought toilet, just go in there and sort out our faces, and you locked us in. So we had a bit of a go at the guy who had a go at us for going in there in the first place. And the night was pretty good apart from that, though.
Actually, the guy that ran the club, I knew from when I was younger.
Yeah.
And he actually had a go at the guys.
But Michelle thought it was pretty impressive the way I got us out of there. But like I've always said, I have a big mouth. And if there's any sort of situation where I'm stuck somewhere, I'll get me out of that situation, or anyone who's with me out of that situation, because I have a massive mouth and a set of lungs on me. And
her mother was taught her not to be a complete idiot in situations like that, so...
No, don't panic, just kick the crap out of whatever you're in front of and scream.
Make a lot of noise, bring attention to yourself.
That's what I do.
Usually works.
Yeah. So, this episode of the toilet is now finished.
Towels from the
literally
toilet
used towels from the toilet bowl.
It really was, because that was completely lavatorial, and I am sorry. But send us suggestions, and you won't have to hear about that. How embarrassing getting
embarrassing, you know, about embarrassing things. We cover everything. If you've got an embarrassing story, let us know.
Because it can't be more embarrassing than now.
If you don't want us to read it out, we won't. But we'll just give you our opinion on it and tell you what we think, and let you know if we've been in a similar situation.
Just tell them about the Spice Curls soap first. That was so funny.
Right? Yeah. Okay. This is not us. This was a customer when I was working in Lush in Southend. I don't know if I should name her or not. My colleague.
Well, don't, and then we'll ask her later if it's okay. And
Right. So we were working in Lush, and there was a team of about 5 of us. And we're all standing there, and this woman came in. And she went, I've got a major issue with one of your products. And we were like, being professional. Like, okay, what's the issue with our products? And she went, I bought some Spice Curls for my husband. I was like, okay.
this is soap.
Yeah. She said he got in the bath and washed himself with the Spice Curls. And was like, okay. She went, he burnt his penis. I couldn't. She said that, and I just like had to go somewhere and just laugh. But it wasn't just me. 3 of my other colleagues followed, and we were just laughing in the back. We left 2 of the colleagues out in the front, and we were just laughing because I couldn't. I just couldn't. And then the other colleague came back with us and started laughing, and we left 1 colleague to deal with it. And she was like, I'm sorry about your husband's burnt penis, but it does actually, you're not actually supposed to use it on genital areas because it does burn, because it's got cinnamon in it. Spice Curls, pretty obvious. And she was being so professional, and she was so deadpan. And when we came back, when the woman had left and we came back, she had a go at us. She went, you could have helped me, but no, you leave me, you run away and leave me to deal with it. And it was like, we're laughing. And she's like, I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. And then afterwards, we were all just laughing. We was in hysterics. It was so funny. And there was this one time as well, we had this jelly soap. I mean, it's not soap, is it? It's bath jelly. And it bubbles up really nicely, I love it. And there was this white one. And I'm very pale.
Champagne sparkle or something like that. Because I had it.
Yeah. But I'm really, really pale. As you can see, I'm pale.
Actually, you don't look like pale on camera.
I'm usually very, very pale, but this light in here is a bit boogly. But anyway, boogly.
That's a new word.
It is, but I'm naturally quite pale, and we had this bath shower jelly, whatever it was, and we were cutting it because we had to cut it into pieces. But there was this little sliver that got left because someone had cut it wrong. And and I picked it up, and I went like that, and oh, it's like flesh. So I started chasing my colleague around going, flesh, it's flesh, it's flesh. And she was running away from me while I was waving it at us
This
saying
is
Smash.
professional staff in a Lush shop.
Who's making cupcake face masks and eating it?
It just goes to prove that the Lush products you can take.
And it was actually quite cool because I went to buy some bowls from Wilkinson. They gave me the money for it and everything. I saw my friends and I decided to stop and have a cigarette with them. I was gone for about 20 minutes and I came back and they're like, oh, you're right. I was like, yeah. They didn't care. It was like, you was gone for 20 minutes.
She loved working in Lush.
Like, did you get the bowls? And I was like, yeah. And they didn't actually say like, oh, you've gone for 20 minutes or anything. It was just like, oh, you got them? I was like, yeah.
She loved working at Lush.
Yeah, they were chill. That's why. Like, I was 20 minutes and they were fine with it. And we had like birthday parties that I had to attend and stuff as well. I was the weirdest
And walking
looking one there.
around as a member of staff with a face mask on,
Yeah.
you can do that and nobody cares.
They were going like that as well. It was chocolate based, so it was just like, yeah, it was nice. We had to melt the chocolate, and me and my colleague were looking at it. Oh. I don't usually eat chocolate, but it was like,
It was there.
yeah.
So, if you've got any experiences or any suggestions,
Even from work, like mine.
please send a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this has been Tales from the Toilet Bowl. Be kind and considerate. And hopefully it won't be so lavatorial next time. But then it is called Tales from the Toilet Bowl, so.
Yeah, it's always the whole title of it is lavatorial.
Lavatorial.
See? Raspberry. Sounded like a...
Oh, God. So be kind and considerate. And we'll see you next time on Tales from the Toilet Bowl.
Oh, by the way, we do upload videos daily as well.
I think they've noticed.
Wait a minute. Jeez. We do upload videos daily, so if you have anything you want to tell us about or anything, we'll get to it as soon as we can. So, like, if you send us a comment tomorrow morning, because it's really late now, if you send us, actually morning now, but if you send us a comment later on, we will do that, we will review that tonight, or cover it, or whatever. I mean, we've had some suggestions for bands to check out as well, but like I said, I can't find my other phone. If I can find a musical device tomorrow, or later on,
And also,
I'll do
please
it.
be patient with us because, as with Leanne and the yogurt, we can't get it if it's not in the shop.
yeah.
We did try, and we will try again.
Anyway, the charge on my phone is going, it's just told me, so
Be kind and considerate.
we're going to go,
And
and we'll be
bye-bye.
back tomorrow.
From
so.
Tales from the Toilet Bowl.
See
Bye
ya.
bye.